All right, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, the so-called Democratic Socialists of America continue to humiliate themselves for everyone to see. They've been making their rounds with the national media, and basically what they've done is provide even more proof of just how delusional, deranged, and dangerous these individuals and their agenda is for our country, ladies and gentlemen. And what you begin to notice is that it does not take a whole lot. It doesn't take much. All you have to do is ask them very basic questions about their agenda, posted on their own website, mind you, and then sit back and listen to them try and explain it. Yeah, because the moment these candidates are forced to defend what they actually believe, it's a wrap. And we now have another example of that after Pennsylvania socialist candidate Chris Rabb was confronted on Fox News. And let's just say it did not go well. But at this point, that seems to be the pattern with these DSA candidates and representatives. The more questions they're asked, the worse they look. And so we got a lot to get into, ladies and gentlemen. As always, smash the thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know you enjoy the content. For more, subscribe to the channel. And shout out to everybody, especially those who watch to the very end and drop their comments. I appreciate every single one of you. And answering the question for the commenter who asked me if I'm AI, no, I'm a real person. I think I mentioned this before. I'm from New Jersey. I live in Texas now. I am real. I'm not AI. Had to answer that because not the first person in the comment section to actually bring that question up. Don't know why. Maybe you guys can put that in the comment section why you thought I was AI, but no, I'm a real person. Maybe because I wear the same black shirt. I got like a pack of 40 of these shirts, ladies and gentlemen. I just figure I'll keep it basic. A black shirt, pretty simple. Don't know, but let me know in the comments. But let's start right here with a recap of some of the previous DSA members and things they've said. And then we'll get into the latest. Check this out.
The problem we're facing in our housing system is that we talk about tenants and we say they have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They have to be responsible financially. But when we look at the landlords, we don't use those same standards. Landlords in New York have been making a 12% return on their investment on average.
How much should they make? What's fair for the landlord to make if you don't like 12?
They're complaining that 12 is not enough. And we don't think that anyone should have a constitutional right to double-digit returns on their investment. That's why we've implemented...
No one should have a right to a double-digit return on their investment.
No one has a right. That's not... No,
what are you talking
no
about?
one's in that. That's not in the Constitution. But what we see is that when we implement a rent freeze...
Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. Thanksgiving is also a time that's incredibly painful for many people in our communities. And so I think I wanted to make sure that people understood that there are multiple views, but views can evolve.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. Because I
There
love
you have it.
Thanksgiving. Yep. I don't want to cancel it. I actually love it. We bring, actually, it's kind of in-laws and family members and their in-laws, and it's a big event. And, you know, I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of a curmudgeon when it comes to holidays in general. But right now, what we want to get serious about is making sure that we deliver a Democratic trifecta for the majority, for Democrats, And it's exciting to see more and more people join our movement, get engaged, get organized, and get to work to make sure that we have Democrats in the majority in the legislature and the executive this year.
All right, yeah, so there you have that. And that last one has to be my favorite, guys, because, Francesca Hong, she's currently running for the governor of Wisconsin, trying to lock down the Democratic nomination, which we'll find out about that next week. She pretty much has it. The second place candidate dropped out, and so it's kind of, hers to pretty much win at this point. But she pretty much made her career and got to this point being a dues-paying, card-carrying DSA member who said some radical, moronic things, such as how Thanksgiving should be canceled. And now she's trying to say, yeah, no, that whole Thanksgiving thing is actually my favorite holiday, guys. I mean, really, these people, it's absolutely wild watching what we're seeing take place in the Democrat Party right now with these candidates. And the fact that establishment Democrats have allowed this to actually take place, ladies and gentlemen. That says it all. But you know what? Let's go ahead and keep it going with this fiery Fox News interview with host Sean Hannity as he challenges PA Democrat nominee Chris Rabb on the DSA policies. And right off the top, it did not start well, where he couldn't even get Sean Hannity's name right. It was not good. And so let's take a look and start here.
Anyway, Democratic nominee for Pennsylvania's 3rd Congressional District, Chris Rabb, joins us now. Chris, appreciate you coming. Let me just go through
My
the
pleasure.
DSA.
Thank you, Scott.
My name is not Scott. My name is Sean, but that's okay.
Apologies.
Let's go. No worries. No worries. Let's go through the DSA beliefs. Yes or no? You want to eliminate the U.S. Senate?
That's not really what I ran on. That's the DSA national platform.
Okay, I'm asking. You're a DSA member.
I'm letting you know what I ran on because I'm the Democratic nominee for the 3rd Congressional District.
And now, so let's go to stop right here because if you guys recall from a previous video, I walked you through the DSA website where I had a day without capitalism and talked about you don't have to pay rent, mortgage, because those things are all a part of the collective. Food is all part of the collective. And so if you choose to join an organization that says things like that, then I think it's fair game for someone to ask you, do you believe in those things? You joined the organization. You're a card-carrying, dues-paying member. I want to know, why did you join if you don't rock with what they say and what they have on their website? You feel differently, then what's the point of the membership if you don't align with their beliefs? But the thing is, he does align with it. That's why he didn't simply just come out and say, no, the Senate, that's actually not anything I'm looking to abolish and get rid of. We need to keep that in place. But no, instead it's diversion, dodging the question. But let's continue.
Do you want amnesty Sir, I'm asking you quick questions, then we'll give you time. Do you want amnesty for illegals and to abolish borders?
What are illegals?
Illegal immigrants, people that didn't respect our laws, borders, and sovereignty, entered the country without permission. Illegally.
I don't accept the premise of that question. There are folks who have documentation, but these are not criminal acts.
Excuse me. If you enter our country illegally, by definition, that is a criminal act.
And that is the problem right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you truly believe that your policies, your agenda is so much better, then stand by it. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't try to pretend as if you don't get what words mean in order to try and seem like, I'm not going to let them get me. Just stand on it. Okay, you clearly are not for closed borders and deportation, so just stand by what you actually feel and believe instead of trying to dance around and avoid answering the question. But you can't do that. I don't even know why show up to a interview like Fox News if that's the way you're going to conduct yourself. I mean, at least had a confidence to say this is what I stand on, and I'll even say it in front of the opposition who I know does not agree with anything I say, I would have more respect for that. But nonetheless, this is what we get. And so let's continue.
Do you want to abolish ICE?
Absolutely. And dismantle the immigrant concentration camps.
Do you want to defund the Department of War?
We need to radically reduce how much money we're spending with the Pentagon. Absolutely. Our war budget is radically larger than every other country combined.
Do you want to end all deportations?
Do I want to end all deportations? We want to make sure that there's an immigration system that is fair, just, and efficient, and we don't have that system. There was a bipartisan bill in the Senate that was moving towards that, but your president tried to kill that in order to be president again.
Well, he's also your president. You do live in the United States, whether you like it or not. Would you like to eliminate cash bail and establish a wealth tax?
Absolutely.
Okay. You want, obviously, I went through your list. You want the Green New Deal. Would you like to abolish prisons and abolish the police?
Well, you know, what's interesting about that statement is long before there was any notion of policing, we had founders that did not even understand that term. Policing is something that's evolved over time. Ultimately, what we want is to have communities that are safe. And 99% of what police do are not going after the bad guys. All of that can be done in different ways.
So you support
by professionals who are trained to do
police.
so.
And who are these trained professionals? Who are these trained professionals, and what do they look like? What are their levels of responsibility? What authority do they have? Will they be able to carry a weapon? Who are, because he's saying trained professionals, we got that part, they're going to act as the police, but not the police. Not the police. And so will they be able to have a weapon? What level of authority will they have over individuals who are breaking the law? You know, these people say things and it literally makes no logical sense.
Okay, I'm talking about police that arrest bad people, that commit crimes and commit robberies and rape, the child molesters, the drug dealers, those people, the people that have guns that
protect the innocent. Were there people who did that before the term police existed, though? I mean, let's talk about this in the appropriate context.
You want to go by the definition. Everyone watching this show knows what policing is. You know what policing is, so let's not play word games. Do you want to defund the police or not?
I'm a state lawmaker who's represented 70,000 people for 10 years. No,
do you want them
never
safe and secure?
What my point is,
you do recognize there are murderers, rapists, child molesters, drug dealers, bad people in this world. Do you want to have people that are hired to arrest them?
We need to keep our communities safe, and there are ways of doing that.
Do
long
you
before
want
the term police ever existed.
Then how, if you don't have police, how would you protect the people in your district?
Do you believe in state troopers?
State troopers, can they be armed in your view?
Hey, listen, I believe in arming oneself. Listen, my people are from the South.
So do I.
All right? So the only way we could protect ourselves was to arm ourselves because we couldn't trust the police because they were largely part of the Klan. So, yes, all of my people were armed.
That is a generalization that is not true. Let me ask you this. Universal basic income, the Green New Deal that you support, federal jobs, you want a guaranteed federal job, guaranteed income, guaranteed housing, guaranteed child care, government's grocery stores, no more oil and gas, et cetera. So my question for you is, we spend more per capita on education per child than any industrialized country, and we have the worst results. That's government-run, government schools. We adopted Obamacare. The promise was keep your doctor, keep your plan. Average family saves $2,500 a year. The results are in, and, well, millions lost doctors, millions lost plans, and the average family pays 300% more, and 40% of the country around that number has one Obamacare exchange option. Social Security was supposed to be put in a lockbox. This is all government run. You're putting your faith in government. So my question to you is why?
So this is the same government that's run
Let me finish my question.
Republicans.
My question to you is why you put so much faith, hope, and trust that you want the government to basically control every aspect of people's lives. Why? Why do you have to trust them so much with that failed record?
Well, we're talking about a red trifecta right now. You all control everything, the Supreme Court, the presidency, the Senate, and the House. Where are your solutions?
Elections.
This is what he's trying to sell you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Democrats try to sell you when they say this whole, well, you have control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, so you're in control. You are the reason why things aren't getting done if they're not getting done. And so they're trying to sell Americans on this idea that whoever the party is that is in power, if they have the control, then they can do whatever they want. No one can stop them. That's literally what they're saying when they try and make that argument, ladies and gentlemen. And tell me, please, somebody, drop a comment down below. I could be wrong. When has that ever been the case in this country? Just because one party has the control does not mean that gives them free reign to then do whatever they want. That's not how this country was built. Even when a party such as right now, the Republican Party, does have control because of obviously the amount of votes we know that it takes in the Senate, Democrats can block things. That's the way this country was built, is in order to keep a level of balance. We know that. But Democrats want to try and paint a picture, well, things aren't getting done. Republicans are in charge. It's their fault. Government gets shut down. It was a Republican shutdown, even though we know Democrats are the ones who literally kept voting to keep the government shut down when it was. And if it happens again in September, guess who will be the reason that it happens? It won't be because Republicans are voting to close the government. It will be because Democrats are voting to close down the government. But let's continue.
Why are we not doing so well?
Well, we just had 4 years of Biden and wide open borders and a president that didn't know what day of the week it was. So, I think we're doing a lot better off. Let me ask you, if I can, a last question.
You're trying to talk
so
about
the top 10% of Americans pay 50 to 60% of our tax bill. The top 20% pay nearly 100. The bottom 50% of wage earners pay 1 to 2% of the total income tax bill. Now, to me, that's redistribution. How much of every dollar that any American makes should they be allowed to keep without you and your fellow DSA members taking it?
Let's just go back to the Reagan era. How about those tax?
The Reagan era was he dropped the top marginal rate. Okay, well, he dropped the top marginal rate from 70 to 28%. You want 28%? You'd be okay with that?
What I'm saying is there was a time under Democratic and Republican presidencies where the tax rate on the wealthiest Americans was much higher than it is now.
Okay.
And
Reagan
I think we should go back to that.
Let me help educate you because I know a lot about Reagan.
Like yourself and billionaires to pay their fair share. Because I'm old school.
I pay way more than my fair share. Trust me. The bottom 50% of wage earners pay 1 to 2% of the tax bill. But Reagan dropped the top marginal rate from 70 to 28%. It created 20 million new jobs, the longest period of peacetime economic growth in history. If you want to adopt Reaganomics, I don't know. I might consider your candidacy if you get rid of this other nonsense that you believe.
That's a
I'm glad you find this humorous. Listen, I'm glad you're applauding Reagan. I feel like I've made progress with you today.
Listen,
70 to 28% is
probably things that we agree. I think there's plenty of things that we can agree on. I've worked with conservative Republicans for 10 years in the nation's largest full-time state legislature.
All right. Well, you have the bluest district in the country, so I imagine you're going to Washington. Congratulations. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, so then you have that towards the end there. He definitely got caught up, though he had a gotcha moment. Did not. Somebody's feeding him the wrong talking points, and he didn't bother to fact check, thinking that it was actually a good idea to say, let's go back to Reagan, who turns out, he dropped the marginal tax rate. Another example of these DSA candidates, representatives, popping up on Fox News and really just making themselves look worse. Let me know why you think they keep doing that down below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on everything that happened in this video. Drop your comments down below. Appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget you enjoyed the content. Smash the thumbs up. For more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.